Right then, ladies and gentlemen, let's get it underway. It's time for episode number 84 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only Mr. I'm a Cutie Pie, your host with the most. Joining me on this side, he's looking a little frozen, but it's Smoothie.
Oh, I am a bit frozen.
Yeah, you're...
Just start it and stop it. We're good.
Joining me on this side, Smoothie, give him an intro, my dude.
Hello. Wait, am I good?
Yeah, you're good. Scar, you're looking a little frozen now.
Oh my god! All right,
we're taking turns on this one.
Wait, this is.
All right, let me just restart it. Ladies and gentlemen, episode number 87 of Beyond the Rift, starring the one and only, your host with the most, I'm a Cutie Pie. Joining me today, the one and only, it's the pretty boy of C9, Mr. Smoothie. Smoothie, give him an intro of who you are.
Hey guys, I am the support for C9, as Cutie said. How you guys doing?
I'm doing good. We're all doing good. Skara, who are you?
I am the I'm the support player for Delta Fox. Some may know me for my Tom Kench. So I'm glad to be able to come on this show and present myself to such a nice and illustrious AD carry.
I'd say a player of equal skill of Smoothie, since you both played professionally as a support, correct?
I would say within...
You were
sure. Yeah,
both professional level supports, though, correct?
But only one of us has supported I'm a Cutie Pie. So honestly...
True. That's true right there.
I think Scar's just being humble, though. I saw that Tom Kench play. I saw you.
Yeah. Comparing me with Ole, like, what would you... what do you think?
Oh. What the...
All right, let me just... Discord, live question and answer. Everyone loves Discord. I love Discord. Smoothie loves Discord. Scar loves Discord. If you don't know what Discord is, download it. Ask us questions. We can't wait to answer them today. But let's go straight into the topics, ladies and gentlemen, with topic number 1. So the jungle has recently changed. What's your first impression about these changes, and how does the jungle look at the moment? Have you had much time to play on this patch, Smoothie?
Yeah, definitely. I played like 20 games so far of the patch, and definitely want to game change myself to Scuttle Defender at this point. I'm just pushing my lane, going to get Scuttle Crabs 24/7, man. It's a good time.
Yeah, I feel like, well, I guess I want to say, I don't think this change is bad. Like, do you guys think this change is like people are saying this is the end of League of Legends, the end times are near, like this game's done with, abandon ship, it's Fortnite time. Do you guys think this is the League of Legends killer patch?
No, it's always overhyped, but like, you know, let's just say I'm eyeing Call of Duty, you know, Battle Royale a little bit more seriously now. No, I think the worst thing is, like, I like that you fight around Scuttle more. I think I like that a lot, but I think that right now the optimal jungle pathing is like to level 2 people with red buff. And to go from one buff to Scuttle to level 2 to the other Scuttle. I think that's actually optimal pathing right now. I think that's stupid.
Yeah, sounds about right. The thing I don't like is that if we have like a weak bot side, and I have a scaling strong lane, like Kate Morgan or something, and my jungler is super weak, I have to like play the lane without jungler for like 5 minutes because we can't defend the Scuttle Crab, and it just feels pretty bad. But I think the game is completely fine, honestly. Like, I don't feel like for bot lane perspective, my meta has been the same since like patch 8, 9 maybe. Like, I went to Korea and I play the same stuff here in NA, so it's not really that big of a deal for me.
I don't really feel like this change is like I actually really enjoy this change compared to what it used to be. Like, maybe it's just because I fucking hate junglers or some shit, but like I love this change. Like, this change, it feels like if I smash my lane, I can pretty much, like, I can do something against the jungler. Like, before, if I smash my lane, if I get ganked and he takes my tower, like, if he comes bottom and my jungler's nowhere around, it's like, okay, you have my, like, that's my tower, it's now yours, dude. That's all you, dude. Like, now it feels like if I'm smashing my lane, I'm gonna fucking take that Scuttle. I'm gonna fight this bitch on that Scuttle every single time he goes for it. And it feels pretty good. Like, I'm feeling like, wow, I'm doing something with my lead other than just pushing in the wave and then going to get a deep ward in. So, I really enjoy this change. Have you guys played as jungle on this patch?
Okay, let me tell you my perspective. I queue up mid jungle. I queued up 6 games yesterday. I got jungle 5 times. Like junglers just like started leaving their role this patch because I'm serious. Like it is. I play a lot of jungle, and it just seems that like my pathing just revolves around like Scuttle, and it feels really bad because it's outside my control if I can get Scuttle or not. If I'm playing Graves and he's playing like Xin Zhao, but one of us has the Aurelion Soul, whoever has the Soul wins. And I think that this patch really affects mid jungle more than any other role because mid laners are doing stupid stuff right now to get wave priority. And I think that I like what they do outside of the early like first 2 Scuttles. I think the first 2 Scuttles are the ones that are like just stupid. If the Scuttles spawn at 6 minutes, I wouldn't care. But like the first 2 Scuttles make mid lane like and jungle the dumbest roles right now. They feel so weird.
Well, do you guys feel like this patch was necessary? Because a lot of people are saying like jungle wasn't even bad. Like jungle it didn't even need a change. It was balanced as hell. Do you guys agree with it? Because I'll say jungle, something needed to happen with jungle. That role's bullshit. Like, I don't give a fuck what anyone said. That role's bullshit. If you don't think it is, it's because you're fucking brain dead. But what's your guys' take on it?
I mean, I played a lot of solo queue in Korea, and there's so many games where, yeah, I agree. Like, jungler just takes over the game. Like, a Kha'Zix can just evolve his ulti and then one-shot everybody if he gets, like, 1 kill early. Or, like, Camille jungle was a problem in Korea, too. Yeah, it's way too overpowered. I'm not sure if this is the right way to put it or do it, but I think having a change is okay. And I don't know, there's so many people saying jungle is ruined and stuff. I'm not sure if it's actually that bad. Maybe people are just overreacting, maybe.
Yeah, I don't even think like anything to like. I still see it. Like, people always mean better jungler win. Like, if I see my jungler has like 6 kills, he's gonna get a like 4 level advantage and just shit on everyone. He's just 1v5. There's no people say it like me, like better jungler, like the better jungler is gonna fucking win regardless. He doesn't give a fuck. Like, half of my junglers, when they start snowballing, they don't even bother with the Scuttle crab. They just camp the enemy jungler and just kill him over and over again. So, I mean, Scott, what's your take on? Do you think jungle was broken in this change?
I think jungle needed to be slowed down a little bit. So, like, on live, they're behind 1 camp on average. So that's like 20 seconds, 10, 20 seconds. I think that's good, actually, for the game. I think it just feels like the early snowball is out of your control sometimes as the jungler. And I think that sucks. It's like, okay, well, sometimes, I'm playing the jungle and I'm playing like a Mumu. And it turns out that like I just can't play off meta because if they have a jungler who can do Scuttle at 2, he takes both Scuttles and ganks my mid lane in the first 3 minutes. And I'm just like, well, I'm behind on XP. He gained vision control of both sides of the river. And like I can't do anything. So I just think that the first 6 minutes is really bad. I think your control of your jungle as a jungler is reliant so much on your lanes now at early game, and I think that's probably the worst feeling.
Well,
yeah, especially. I see like Shifter, he goes like smite, Aurelion Soul mid. He literally has a jungler take the top trap and then does his own crap on the bot side.
That shit is awful. I just want to say right now, like, people keep saying that mid smite shit's good. It's fucking awful. Like,
no, it's bad. If outside the first Scuttle spawn, which I think is the only problematic one, like the first double Scuttle spawn is worth like 200 gold, like across both the Scuttles and like 200 experience. So I think the only time you can run Smite mid and it's good is actually Zoe can run Smite mid and it's good. Aside from that, I think everything else is not very good.
Really? You'd rather have Smite than Ignite, though?
It's like workable because when you use summoners on her, she gains move speed and damage.
Oh, true.
So like she's like the only one that like by using like Smite consistently, it becomes like she gets more additional tools.
Yeah.
But for the rest of the stuff, I think it's not that good.
Yeah, I'll say like overall, I really enjoyed this patch. I think this patch is pretty fun. Like I don't think that there's anything. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I got some sick, twisted fucking idea of what fun actually is. But being able to just 1v1 against my lane opponent, I haven't done that shit, and so like it's actually I never see the jungler anymore because he's so busy having to deal with like the Scuttle bullshit and all that garbage that it's just like I actually get to sit in my lane and just fight this guy. So I'm pretty happy with how this patch is. Do you guys, are you happy with the patch or you got any problems with it?
I mean, the same reason as you. It's pretty nice. Like when the top crab is the only crab coming up, you already know the jungle is over there, so you can just fight, and it's a good time, you know.
What the dude? As a mid laner, it's like one of the worst patches for me because any pick that can't shove puts your team and your jungler in an early game disadvantage. It's like if I'm looking to pick stuff which is like just literally cannot shove, I can get flamed by my jungler, and I will be like, you know what? He's right. I'm actively being a bad player by picking champions that like just can't take over the lane in the first 4 levels. And that feels super bad for me. Like I feel like my champion diversity mid lane got cut a little bit. And like I'm ruining the effectiveness of another player on my team because I don't pick something that shoves. And it's like, do
you think though that it's like as the patch goes on, people will like figure it out more and figure out the jungle path? Because I feel like give this like a couple of days, people will just figure out how to path. Because I think there's already people like you said doing red ganking and then just doing Scuttle grab and like
I think outside of that I really like dislike that being the optimal path right now, which I think it is. I think that the fact that there's another objective to force fights around is good in the game. Like I actually think that like I don't mind being Sculler like fighter like 2018. I don't mind that. If every 2 minutes 4 people show up at a Scuttle, hell, that's great. That just means that like we got another objective to fight over, right? But I think the first 2 Scuttles on the map are really, really hard to balance at the moment. And Riot's just like, I'm down to just remove Scuttle from the map and rebalance the map until like 6 minutes, pretty much.
Jesus, what the? I don't agree. I think that it's pretty good the way it is. Again, like I think people right now they just most of the time when I see jungler they just split the map. Like if they're on blue side, they'll just do red and then the enemy blue, and then the enemy jungler just does his red and then the enemy blue, and it's just that's just it. They just keep doing that over and over again. Maybe if one of them's playing a more early game jungle, he'll try to contest the next Scuttle, but for the most part, they just kind of divide the map, and I don't have any problems with that. I'm not like, what the hell is going on? This is some crazy shit, because that's how it used to be. So, I'm pretty happy with the patch. But overall, let me just ask you guys: you give this patch a thumbs up or a thumbs down? I give it a thumbs up. Good shit, Riot.
I give thumbs up as well.
Sky.
I just don't like the first rotation of crabs. I think after the first one, I don't mind it. I think it's pretty good.
So is it a thumbs up or thumbs down? Give me an answer.
Can I do like the
No,
this?
It's either one or the other, Scar. Up or down, yes or
I'm like
no?
60% in one direction. Yes.
And you're 60% yes, so you're yes.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
Oh,
yes,
my.
Yeah.
So wait, actually, while we're talking about the patch Smoothie, what do you think about the word control word like change?
Control word change?
They decreased the cooldown, but increased the duration that it lasts.
Oh, yeah. So I guess like in lane wards are now like, or for bot lane at least, wards are now a pretty big objective. Like if you kill a ward while they place it, that's like a really long cooldown. That could like fuck over people in lane really easily. I think that like pink wards, obviously they mean a lot, but they'll mean a lot more now. Like pinking a lane bush or something, or pinking river, it'll be a lot, especially if you kill a ward that they place with a trinket. It's going to be a lot more impactful, and yeah, I like the buff. It's like a buff and nerf for.
Yeah, I like it too because it feels like if you're starting to snowball your lead bottom and you're like pressuring them, they have to sit on the tower. Like if you start denying vision, they're pretty much like they're just fucked because they're not going to get those trinkets up anytime soon. You start placing pinks and it's just like Well, shit, man. I guess we're just gonna get tower domes now. So, I'm pretty happy with it too. I mean, how does it feel for mid lane? Because now that you're saying people will cheese level 2 you. Does it feel pretty bad having your?
I think I like it because I think that vision was too good, like just in the game, and so like I actually have to pay attention to how I ward. Like sometimes when you're mid lane, you'll have 2 wards. You're like, shit, I forgot to ward one side. Like you'll see a jungler early and you just don't ward, and then you have 2 wards randomly. That doesn't happen anymore. Like if I miss ward an area, and especially because you can gank like 6 different rounds on mid lane. Like, if I mess up on mid lane, I get hard punished. If someone sweeps my ward with a control ward, like, tracking your enemy vision is really important mid lane now. And so, I actually like it a lot. I think it makes it more strategic, especially because denying vision directly leads, like, getting the first jump on Scuttle fights, which sounds stupid, but, I mean, that's just how it is.
Dude, that's why I say thumbs up, right? Get shit on this patch. Let's go to the next topic now. So, TL at MSI barely missed reaching top 4 after starting 0-4. Ole ended up benching himself after day 1 to recover for the rest of the event. Should TL have allowed this? Well, I'll start off by letting Skara begin. Skara, what's your opinion?
Dude, I just think that there's no way, shape, and form it's acceptable for a pro player to say, I think it's acceptable for him to be like, I don't want to play tomorrow. But I think the coaching staff should not have allowed it. They were like, you know what? You have to play. You're our best option. You're letting your 4 other teammates down. You have to do it. And I think that, like, it worked out in his favor that he was able to reset for, like, a game. But, like, it was something where I was like, holy shit. Like, I think they should have had something. For the millions they claim they spend on their team, which is probably true from what I know, they should have had something behind the scenes. And from my understanding, there was, like, a sports psychologist going with them to MSI. So I'm, like, on my end, kind of confused about the notion.
Yeah, I pretty much agree. Obviously, we don't know much about like their internal stuff, but unless like Joey plays like half the scrims with the team, it's for sure unacceptable to like.
Dude, this is my.
You would really though like. I understand like the coaching staff, that shit's unacceptable. People are comparing it to real sports, but like if the guy's got nerves, I don't know anything about Ole personally, but if he's fucking freaking out playing on the big stage or some shit, and he's just like, I need to take this fucking break, like, I don't see a problem. You really don't think that the coaching staff should allow it? Because, again, I don't know the severity. If he was just like, man, we fucking suck, I don't want to play this next game. I really doubt it was like that. But if he was like that, I could understand. But I feel like there's points where, maybe you want to sit this one out, dude.
I think it's just such a big detriment to his team. I agree with Smoothie. It'd be a different story if like their sub play with them. But from everything that I knew, 0 scrims with the team before going to MSI, and he was just expected to sit there and be like the required substitute. Because every team is required to bring 1 sub to the international event. So he was going to be there, gain experience, but had no intention, or from my understanding, they had no intention of playing him up until that point. So, like, with that being said, I'm just like, him playing, he's going to lose. Like, unless the rest of your teammates are playing out of their minds to help, like, assist him, he is not going to be able to bring, like, a win. So you're throwing the game away for 1 player. And I think that's... I understand what you're saying, Cutie, and maybe he is freaking out. Maybe he was just like, I can't do it, I can't play. That's when you got to have, like, your coaching staff step in and be like, look, if you don't play... Like, you're letting these 4 other people down. I
just want to say, I don't think that's going to help. If he's, like, nervous about playing and the coaching staff sits him down like, Coach, I can't play this one. The coach tells him, if you don't play this fucking game, you're letting everyone down. Not just everyone, you're letting the United States down. They're all backing you for this MSI. I don't think that's good. Oh, my God, wow, I didn't realize that shit. Maybe I'll go and play now. I don't know if that's it for him, but are you saying... Are you saying with Joey, it's an auto lot? You're saying no matter what Joey did, they're just doomed for failure?
I think they would need to have 4 very high performing players for Joey to win with that team. Because it's not like he was the number 1 player from the academy scene before the situation. He's getting like scouted by LCS teams. He was just there to like, get experience. And like from what I understand that like they did okay in the academy. In terms of like for him, I'm not sure if he's like the full package player. And definitely, since teamwork matters the most, like I don't think you're winning with him unless everyone else on the team is hard carrying, and that just wasn't the case.
Well, let's ask Smoothie. Have you ever played against Joey in a competitive setting? Have they used him in like scrims, or any team used him in scrims?
No, but I'm pretty close with our academy team, and I pretty much know how their scrims go. I'm not gonna say too much, obviously, but yeah, they're pretty decent for academy. They got like second place on TLA, so he's not like awful. But I think that if you just don't play with the team in scrims for a long period of time, especially at the world level, like it's never gonna be good. And I heard they had like champion pool issues and just a lot of stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hard to say like what's right or wrong, but it's just in my head. I think that unless he's like having a panic attacks or like some physical stuff's happening, it's not really a thing to like sub him out.
Yeah, I think that makes sense. I mean, I'll ask you though. Do you think that there could have been something more? Because the coaching staff obviously like. They can only do so much. Do you think that more should be done for substitute players? Because a lot of the time I hear subs go out. It's literally they go out and they just sit on the sidelines, watch the game, and then, all right, that's it. I'm the sub, dude. I did it. Like, do you think that more needs to be done for substitute players? Because most of them, they're just there because they have to be. They're not really there for, like, actual substitutions.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's especially the case in NA. Like, I think Korea and China actually use their subs pretty well for the most part at the top levels. I think, like, at NA, like, since franchising came out, a lot of teams just made academy teams just to make academy teams, and they put, like, the minimal amount of resources into them, and if they win, they win. They lose, you know? So they kind of just want to focus on LCS, and it's pretty unfortunate, but like, a lot of times other teams don't really want to just put players in just to like put them in, because it's, in my head, it's like a detriment to the main team, because you're having like, if you're splitting time with a sub, then say like I got subbed out for Zazel, me and him are both getting like half the scrim time. Like one of us is only watching scrims, which like honestly, like it sounds like okay, but in the past I've gotten subbed out for like Bunny, right? Like we split time half and half when I first joined the team, and it definitely did not feel good. Like I wasn't feeling I was learning too much, and he probably did not want to watch me play, right? Because like as my superior at the time, it's definitely got to feel pretty bad watching someone who potentially can replace you play, right? So that's just my opinion.
I think in NA, like, because the talent pool is a little bit dry, if you're a good enough player to be a substitute on a top team, you're going to be starting for another team, right? Yeah. It's not like Bjergsen and Jensen are going to be substituting for each other. They're going to be like, you know what? I deserve to be on the main spot. And I think, like, wouldn't that be the case for you too, Smoothie? If, like, you're just like, well, we decided to give you, like, you could be a substitute for, like TL, but you would rather just be on, like, your own team.
Yeah, 100%. Unless the team is like a super team, like if it was like Kingzone or something, then probably, yeah, I'd want to join a different team, right? But it all depends on situation.
Well, let me ask you, because with Skyrisk, do you feel like there's any support players right now up and coming that could, you know, split time with you that didn't quite deserve to be on a main team, but if they got enough time at it, they could like grow into it? Because I know that a lot of people, they say NA has like no talent, all this shit, and I want to say,
you say that.
I usually agree with that. 100% I agree with it. I think the talent pool at NA is complete garbage. But what's your take on it from support? Do you feel like there's any players like that?
I mean, there are a lot of support players that are decently mechanical. Like from Academy, I can think of like Zazel. He's pretty good, and he's very vocal too. I can't think of too many more that comes to mind right away, but there are definitely some players that like are close to LCS. But it's just hard because of the talent pool right now. To replace someone like, I don't know, I'm not gonna say who can replace an LCS, of course, but you know, some of these bigger names are hard to like replace with a rookie, and especially for the support role.
All right, fair enough. Scar, then, can you tell me what players do you think have the growth potential from a support role to like come into to flourish?
Helicopter.
Helicopter.
Stop it, Scar. Stop it.
That's a good suggestion right there. I like that one.
Yeah, I saw Shifter play some support. It wasn't bad.
Dude, that's the sad thing. When I play solo queue, I swear to God, the people that off roll half the time are better than the people that main support. And it's just like, I mean, from solo queue, it's mostly just mechanics because you don't actually have to know anything about rotations and shit. You just have to know how to 1v5 because that's all that's going to happen. But I don't know, man. NA just feels kind of weird with the talent pool that, yeah, maybe there's not that many viable substitutes and stuff. Like, I don't know. I feel like if I feel like I could sub in for people, then there's fucking problems because I'm fucking garbage. If I feel like Skara could sub in for some people, then we got some problems. Because you feel the same way, Skara, right?
Wait, you just shit on me, and then you're trying to bring me a little bit back and be like, you feel the same way, right?
No, I said you could sub in for people, right?
I mean, sometimes,
you, man.
Yeah, sometimes I see bot laners play. I think that they learn one type of play style, and if that play style is just letting the AD carry, and it's like I don't think that's how you like. Because right now you can get away with playing really passive in lane and just farming, or like before you could, maybe not dispatch, but like I think you can get to like into challenger doing that, and I think that's really. I feel like a lot of times I see a lot of incomplete players. I think I see more incomplete players like in the support role than anywhere else, which is why when they autofill into other roles, like it's like a nightmare. Actually.
Yeah, actually, now that you mention it, that's probably the best way I describe a lot of players. Like when I see them, it's like, man, he could be good, but he's just like incomplete. Like he's just missing. He's just missing like the other stuff. Like he can fucking right click people, but
like this guy understands how to peel for an AD carry in team fights, but like in terms of like stepping up and applying pressure when needed, like he doesn't see like what I see. And I think that like when they go into playing solo lanes and then solo laners are punishing you for like mistakes nonstop like that and they lose all the time, it's like that's what I see when I see a lot of support players like fill into other lanes. And like they're fortunate enough that like when they get autofilled mid lane, Karma mid is actually pretty good. And so like you just spam shove, but like that's how you play when you get autofilled. They don't go for poke. They just split the wave because like they don't like I don't think they know when to aggress just in general sometimes. And so I think of all the roles, I find that a lot of support mains are just incomplete.
Well, really, I find junglers to be not so good.
Jungle's
that's
definitely
a completely different story.
Yeah, jungle's a different story because I swear to God, these people are like, I love junglers, dude. So I don't want to get into it. They're fucking geniuses. They're basically the Albert Einstein of this game. But like, when you're just hitting creeps the whole time, like sometimes I'll be in a fight and my jungler's on Krugs and I'll just ping spam him the whole time. And I don't know anything about jungle. I dabble in it every now and then in solo queue. But like to pan your camera over when you're fighting the Krugs isn't like the most mechanical, intensive thing that I can imagine. But sometimes it's just like, damn, he didn't see me fighting for like 10 seconds. I was fighting for like 20 seconds right there. He couldn't pan his camera over once. I mean, shit, dude. I guess I'm just dumb as hell. So jungle's definitely one of those roles that makes you think. But bringing it back to what we were talking about. So do you think for like an Ole situation, because I don't think that if you have to bench yourself, it must be for an okay like let's just assume it's for an okay reason. Is it on Riot then to like figure out what to do with these subs? Because I don't think the biggest problem is Ole benching himself. I think the biggest problem is the fact that substitutes are fucking useless. Like, no one bothers with them in NA. They're just there for, like, because they have to be. Should there need to be more done with them?
The problem is Riot's so focused on LCS, right? Like, they don't want to put more focus in Academy because what's the point, right? Who watches Academy? Like 10% of the LCS crowd? Maybe a little bit more? Hell, how many Academy games did you guys watch this season? I watched 0.
A decent amount because we have an Academy team, but
right. I think you're the exception, but like even then, it's like you have to be very, very much focused in that, right? And I think that they don't want to put effort into it, which will naturally make their substitute system worse. I think other regions can get away with having good substitutes because their talent pool is really big, but especially in NA and even in EU, right? The substitute system like sucks. And I don't really know what they could do to fix it.
I just feel like that's a pretty big problem because it's like you said, there's incomplete players, and they're never going to get a chance to get completed because playing in the academy, it's really good, and you learn a lot from it. I'm not trying to, like, discredit academy, but you're not going to learn everything that you need to learn to, like, really grow yourself into the play. Like, you're not playing against, like, the best of the best with, like, everyone fucking getting all the resources put into them. It's just like an afterthought, like, oh, we have an academy team. It's like Smoothie said, just like, shit, Riot makes us have this shit, whatever, dude. I feel like an academy, it was like Challenger Series. Like, Challenger Series was just fucking useless, just a waste of time. No one gave a shit about it. Like,
except for when you can get into the LCS and get $1 million payday. That's what people cared about.
Yeah, pretty much. But other than that, like, I don't know. I wish that they'd do more with Academy. Do you think that Academy might be, like, a problem in the future with, like, talent growth? Because I don't know how the fuck new players, or not new players, but I guess fresh competitive players are supposed to get that real, like, competitive thing. Like, if they're not competitive ready as soon as they're in the academy, I don't feel like anyone's ever going to grow from academy into, like, a superstar player.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for that. That's a pretty hard situation to really deal with. But a lot of people's problems are that the new players don't really know macro play at all. That's like the biggest thing in my head. You can, like, again, like you guys said, you can do mechanics and stuff pretty easily. Like, I'm pretty sure at the top level, everyone has similar mechanics. Like, even if you're like just a master player, it's pretty close, honestly. But it's just like knowing where to be at all times in the game. And just that macro, I think that's the biggest reason why teams don't put time into like investing, main team coaches' time to helping them learn that stuff, because it takes way too long. Like, you have to kind of learn yourself as you go. So I think maybe just have like academy teams watch LCS teams. Like, it's pretty boring, but honestly, to learn macro, like the most efficient way is just watching a better team play. And it's pretty hard to like say just watch this team for a day, but maybe.
Dude, the thing about like learning from like a rookie plus, the way I see the best way to learn is you combine experienced players with rookies. Like, you would take like 3 experienced players and put them on a team with 2 rookies, and then they grow together. And like, the rookies can come in with like the fresh mindset, the stronger mechanical skill, and the experienced players can come in with like the macro knowledge and like, you know, the ability to not get nervous on stage. But like, none of the experienced players would consider playing. Like, there's not enough experienced players to go down into the academy team a lot of times. Like, there are some, but it feels like it's like 4 rookies to 1, or maybe even 5 rookies, and they're begging for a coach to be able to like hard carry these rosters. And I think that that's really not ideal for to foster new talent. But I don't really see a solution either.
All right.
Yeah, it's hard. You can't really like ask Bjergsen to play with, 4 rookies. That's not a thing. So that's.
Hey, why is that not a thing though?
You think he would do it?
Do you think if he told Bjergsen, we're trying to lift the NA talent pool up another level, could you please demote yourself to academy? You don't think he'd say yes for North America? Let me ask you, if tomorrow Donald Trump sent you a letter, Smoothie, he said, I want you to demote for all of America to academy and teach these academy players macro, would you do it?
If Donald Trump came up to me and said this, well, what I'd be losing there would be a chance to represent North America at international tournaments and stuff like that. And I think it's probably worth more than developing talent.
For all of America, though, if you develop these 4 players, they'll develop 8 players, and then those 8 players will develop 16 players. You'd say, screw all that. I'd say screw all that. Now, if I were I'd say every time
Another
I've
trick
heard
question here. I'm not gonna lie, I would never do that.
Yeah, every time I've heard from experienced players when they play with rookies, they're like, "This is the most awful shit ever, dude. Like a fucking waste of time trying to like teach people how to play the game." I don't know if like. If I was in their shoes, I'd feel the same exact way. So maybe I'm just a terrible person, but you know, who knows?
No, I've been there, man. I was a rookie on TL, or basically a rookie, and I was fucking awful, man. Like I like looking back at it, I cringe so hard at the stuff I did and said. So, like, it's a roller coaster for sure.
Yeah. All right, let's go on, though, to the next topic. So we spent a lot of time on the show talking about bot lane power being too high. Our support's too strong right now. I've said every fucking show, and I say every day, support's fucking broken roll. But now we got a support main here.
Yeah,
So
my God.
You tell me, is support broken, or am I just a pea-brain ADC player?
Nah, dude, I'm about to pop off right now. Supports are fucking OP for sure. Like, I felt so powerful this past last 2 months actually, just because of champs like Rakan, and you can play like these strong ass bot duos like Alistar Kai'Sa or like Morgana Caitlyn. It's really strong. I think champs that just use Airy and Scorch are just really strong in general. Like I'm not sure about the casters like Janna and Lulu and stuff, but aggressive engager supports just feels so good right now.
Yeah, like I've been saying it forever. The Mastery system just introduced so many fucking problems. Like, before I played against Alistar, I was like, dude, he comboed me. Shit, man, I'm going to lose like 200 health. Now he combos me. He hits me with Aftershock. He has plus 100 or plus 80, whatever fucking number. Resists everything. He does like, he's basically unkillable after the combo, and then he smacks me with the stun. It's like, well, shit, you just solo killed me, basically. And the Ignite does even more damage than it did before. It's just like Alistar will actually solo kill you at 2. Like, the enemy AD just needs to auto you, and then he's going to kill your ass. So, I think that supports, they got way too much fucking power. But, Scar, what's your take on it from Smoothie's perspective? Because he thinks it's broken as fuck, too. You think...
Recently, I've been playing, like, whenever I go support, I've been playing against a lot of Sorakas.
Oh,
I just gotta say, I can't beat that champion. Like, there's no way. It's not possible. Like, it's only the Sorakas that run Ignite because they want to, like, style on me that I can potentially beat if they suck. But, like, the barrier ones, I'm literally at my tower the entire game, and I just lose lane, and it feels awful. And I just think that, like, the extra damage of area scores just feel just like I'm getting just crushed.
Yeah, it's
shit.
It's just fucking gross, dude. Because it's like before, like I laned versus Soraka, and you know you'd have this Starfall battle Soraka. And it didn't feel bad because it's like, you know what, I can dodge this shit. I'll maybe get an all in on her. Now it's just like she just spams silence on me. Like Morgana Pool is a fucking annoying ass ability. Because before, it's like a 10 damage tick, and it's like, fuck off, man. Stop throwing this shit at me. But now she throws it at you, you get scorched, you get airied, it's like, dude, you fucking just did like 80 damage to me in one tick of your pool. What the hell? Like, that shit does not feel very fair to play against. What would you do, though, to nerf support? Because I've been saying support items are too fucking gold efficient, and they get way too much gold. Like, support just gets way too much gold. I wouldn't mind if support items were this cheap and how much gold support get if they had to buy their wards like they used to. But the fact that you just get wards for free and you don't have any expenses other than pink wards and buying your items, which is, that shit doesn't make me happy. But what's your take on it?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I think just supports do so much damage right now. Like if you ever lane versus Rakan, he just maxes Q, and then you get a Q on you, and you take like a quarter of your health instantly because of Airy and Scorch, and they heal like 80 HP because they have some AP on their with their runes.
Dude, Rakan too, yeah, when he's level 6, guaranteed dead. Like, you better fucking run for your life, because if he hits you with that thing, you're dead. Like, there's no, maybe I'll live through it, it's just, you're dead. So, Rakan's another big problem. But what in your mind would need to happen for these champions? Is it just the champion kits inherently have problems, or?
Well, maybe taking their damage down just a little bit, because before in the past, Recon wasn't that good because you didn't build like what you did now. You used to go like Spellbook with like Ancient Coin, and your all-in damage at level 6 isn't like one-shot potential. It's like it was just a small chunk, and then if your ADC can follow, your team can follow, you get a kill. But nowadays, it's like if your enemy ADC is chunked to like 70%, 80%, you can just ulti flash into their ADC and just straight up one-shot them with your RW combo with Q, Max, and Ignite. So I think that's definitely not so okay. It's really fun for me, so I'm not gonna argue right now, but it's probably a little imbalanced.
Do you think though that the items though aren't an issue? It's just the damage, because I know like I'm biased. I want support just to have brown boots the whole game and have to buy wards again. But like that's not a good way to balance the game. I'll admit I'm a little biased towards that. So what do you think?
Come on, dude. I gotta play the game somehow. I don't know. It's pretty hard to balance, honestly. Like, I think what one of the bigger changes that helped like champs like Rakan out, was the Spell Thieves change, where like before Morgana can just W and take 3 stacks instantly, but now there's like an internal cooldown on Frostfang, and like every individual auto attack or spell can actually get you gold. I think that's a pretty big buff for Spell Thieves, and one of the bigger reasons why Recon players did not go Spell Thieves in the past. I don't know. It's pretty hard to say like what exactly you need to fix, but definitely start with just how much damage maybe Scorch and Eridu plus Spell Thieves. It does way too much damage early.
All right.
Thank you.
Scar, do you have any specific problems with it, like items, gold income? Because like I think that for me personally, like something like Zeke's Convergence, that shit does way too fucking much for how cheap it is. Like people complain about like the bullshit is Banner of Command. That thing's Zeke's Convergence, like you just melt to Rakan. Like his damage is already absurd, but if this fucker like ults into everyone, if he gets a 5-man ulti, you better pray to God that you like have some way of getting out, because this fucker is gonna kill your whole team. So like,
yeah, that item's pretty broken. Like nowadays, I just rush it no matter who I'm playing. Like Braum, Alistar, like I can just rush it on anybody. It's so cheap and so efficient with so many champs right now. And
yeah, like I'll play Scion top. I'll just get it for my fucking AD and ult into the enemy team, because it works during my passive too. I'm like, I don't give a shit, dude. My AD is just gonna 1v9 anyways. What do you think, Scar? You think it's the items, the gold income, damage?
There's always going to be OP support items, right? Like, there was Sensor, there was Old Redemption Locket. I think that, like, support itemization now is not too OP outside of maybe Zeke's. But I agree completely. I think the mastery system is just completely needs rework. It's this, well, maybe not rework, but it just seems, there's too much damage in the game. Essentially what the mastery system added was like 30%, 20% to 30% more damage in the game. And the game is balanced around this faulty mastery system, or this new rune system, in the sense that the good champions who can use it are super OP. And to counteract it, you on the opposing end have to go like stupid stuff like Bone Plating Resolve, which got nerfed recently, thank God, or D-Shield. And I think D-Shield is its own problem, but if you're not like a top tier champion, you can't even play into like good champions without these things. And I think that right now, like the mastery system and the rune system is causing like a really, really severe problem, like has a severe balancing issue, and it's causing like champion variety to be like a big problem.
Yeah, I'll say on that, like I've been saying it recently, like the mastery system. I talked about it on last Beyond the Rift, but like that system, like the only reason Resolve needs to be so strong is because there's so much fucking damage in the game. Like imagine imagine the runes right now without resolve. Like, you just be fucking dying instantly and like everyone's fucking running resolve now. You got it mid lane, top lane, support. Dude, if I could run it as an AD, I'd run it as an AD. Like, everyone runs this thing because you are gonna die if you don't run it. Like, if you need to do anything proactive, you better hope to God you have resolve, because if you don't, I'll sometimes see, like, someone will pick Janna and they don't go resolve. She'll die solo. Yeah, she'll die solo to my support. Like, my support Alistar will just solo kill her. Like, that shit's a problem. Like, being forced to go these masteries because the other masteries are just so broken is like, I don't know, man. It is weird for the balancing, but hopefully something can happen with that. Let's go now, though, to the next topic. So C9 didn't have a deep playoff run last season. What ended up happening last split to stop your team from getting to the finals?
Well, it happened twice so far where we just lose in quarterfinals of playoffs. It's, I think, a big problem for us is that our team is like really good in scrims. Like, we just win all our fights, and it gets pretty. It gets pretty bad sometimes because if we win too many scrims, some stuff from scrims doesn't translate to stage. Like, we get complacent sometimes, even though we don't notice it. Like, I try my best not to get complacent, but it's really hard to get like reads in the meta as well. Like, if you win with X bot lane every game, you're gonna think it's really OP and gonna play on stage for sure. But we got on stage, and what happened to us was, we played the stuff we played in scrims. I'm just gonna say it because it's already passed, but like in our scrims, like Thresh and Morgana were super OP champions. Like, there's no counterplay to these champions. We just won lane, took the turret like 5 minutes every game. The game was just over like super fast. And we got on stage. We tried it one time. I could not do anything. Like the other teams just played tanks like Tom Kench, Alistar, and Braum. And they just outperformed me because they had better champions for their team comp, and we couldn't take their turret on stage. We couldn't do anything we wanted to do. So I think that's a big reason why we lost. And yeah, I mean, our scrim partners they're good, but there's really Fiesta type games. So it was really hard to learn macro play, and we kind of just forgot it, I guess.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I'm sure Sky knows what I'm going to say, but like when we used to play competitive, I know what you're talking about, because we do some janky ass shit in our scrims where it's like, this is never going to work ever, but let's just try it out. It works once. It's like, wow, this worked out really well. Let's try it another scrim block. We tried another one. We start doing it a lot. It's like, damn, this is going really well. Let's try it out on stage, dude. We try it out, absolute blowout. We just get fucking smashed into the ground. It's like, wait, dude, we were stomping on our scrims. What the hell happened, dude?
The best one I remember is when we had a strategy with, I think, you playing Quinn and us having Kale, and it was like a dive bomb strategy. And it sounds so stupid in hindsight, but like, I'm telling you, in our scrims, literally we would never lose.
Yeah, we'd win every game, and they'd tell us like, this shit's too broken. I don't know if they were sabotaging us by telling us that. They must have been, but they were like, this shit's too good, dude. You gotta stop playing it. I was like, dude, Quinn, that's the future, man. I played that on stage, fed my ass off the whole fucking
We
game.
lost a dragon fight to Special. I think we got quadra killed. The game was instantly over. No recovery mechanism.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. But let me ask, what do you think about, like, because a lot of people you hear pretty often, they can't translate like scrims to on stage, or some of the stuff doesn't translate. Do you think that's a problem with just scrims in general? Is there a problem with like the region, North America? 'Cause I don't know how scrims are in Korea, if like what they do in Korea translates in scrims to on stage. Like, what's your take on that?
I think a lot of times in scrims, people are like kind of pretty unfocused, especially like the first block or like super late blocks. Like the first and last game are usually like fiestas because everyone's kind of just waking up or everyone's too tired to play the game, and like you're losing 2 games of scrims essentially just like every day because of those type of games. And I don't know, people just, it's hard to focus sometimes, and like it's a fundamental flaw of just being human, but it's it makes practice kind of hard in that you don't get like 100% of what you practice out of the games. Like, for example, like, I'm gonna say it again. Like, we just won every game with like Zaya Rakan, and like Dardock was carrying every single game with Kha'Zix and Nocturne, and on stage they were like hot garbage champions. They couldn't do anything. Like, they didn't get any kills early, and they just people started 5-5ing, and those champions were useless. But in scrims, people would just die to them randomly, and it's like a bad game. But we don't know that, right? Like, we don't know that it's just like oops, I messed up, my bad, guys. And he just got a kill. We just think that the champions are super OP, and we can't play against them on stage because they're these players are like 1v9ing these in scrims. So that's how like a kind of false meta occurs, and yeah, I don't know. It's pretty hard to fix that because.
Do you think? You can go.
No, you go. You go.
Do you think that's just like a North American problem? Because like when I hear people like they'll talk about, oh, in Korea they're playing 16 hours a day. They're like laser focused every fucking second that they're playing this shit. Like, obviously, I don't know if that's true or not. Can that shit?
No, definitely not. I'm just gonna say it like it's back in Worlds last year, 2017. We scrimmed some Korean teams, and they definitely were not playing to their full potential. That is for sure. Like, we won so many games versus like Samsung and other teams, but they definitely are really good teams. And sometimes you just play bad, but you can always get something out of scrims. It's just sometimes it's not as efficient.
Well, then do you think, though, that, like, for North America, again, I know when me and Scar played competitive, sometimes you get in a scrim block, it's like, this shit's going to be a waste. Like, you play the first game out, and then it's like, you already know the rest of these games are going to be pointless, because no one's fucking trying. It's just Fiesta from here out. Like, a lot of the time, I just be like, God, I don't even want to play this shit out, because it's just going to be a fucking waste of time. Does that shit still happen now? Is there a lot more, I guess, focus from the coaches to like, you need to be doing this shit, or how does it work now?
What do you mean? But like the team's bad, or like troll drafts, or what? No,
just I guess lack of focus. Like, because before you could tell like this team's not even fucking trying, dude. They're just playing it out because they just have to, because their coach is fucking behind them, telling them play this shit out. We scheduled the scrim block. Is it a lot better now, or do you sometimes feel like this team's not even fucking trying, they're just fucking here because they have to be?
Usually not. Usually it's like, if it's a bad team, then yeah, it's gonna happen. But usually the teams like, it's more macro focused now than back then, I would imagine. And even if you feed, you can still win the game from just pure macro. So I think it's in more of a healthy state than what you're saying, but there are definitely some games / some teams that just kind of run it down in scrims, for sure.
Dude, so, I have a question. So, like, back when we played, we used to really dislike having to play weaker teams because they just weren't good enough for you to get anything out of it. And is that like still the case? Like, I know you guys may have scrimmed a lot for, playoffs this season, but usually what happens is you only have access to one team because none of the other teams are good enough, right? Is that still a problem where like there's not enough good teams for you guys to play against in like these crucial situations? So you run into, faulty scrim like states and metas which don't work in stage?
No, not really. Nowadays there are at least like 4 to 5 good teams or decent teams that know how to play the macro game really well. It's not really ever an opportunity for us to only scrim one team. I think that's pretty troll if we do, because if we scrim only one team, then there's always going to be like a internal meta between the two teams, and like all the other teams that are scrimming each other have like this entirely different meta, and I think that's really bad. That's like, it happened to us actually. We this playoffs we only scrimmed like 2 teams, and it was kind of like a division. Like, it was us 3 scrimming, us 3 teams. I'm not going to name the teams obviously, but there was like another 3 teams, and our meta was like Nocturne, Kha'Zix jungle every game, Evelyn jungle, like carries top no matter what. Like squishy range supports on our side, like Thresh, Rakan, like Lulu, Janna and stuff. And the other side had like tanks top only, tank supports only, like same jungles for the most part, or not same jungles actually, like Skarner, Sejuani, J4, that kind of stuff on the other side. And we got on stage and we were so confused. We'd never seen any of these champions and we got clapped out so hard.
Jesus.
Yeah, it was really weird. I really don't like having I really like having diversity in scrims.
Okay.
Well, that's pretty good then. I mean, yeah, that's a lot different than how it used to be for us. So that's pretty good to hear that it's changed. But let's go now to the next topic of Pyke is the first assassin support to be released. Is this something you're interested in? And should a support assassin even be an archetype that exists? So I guess, have you seen like how Pyke, like his abilities and stuff, Smoothie?
Yeah, I haven't like tested it in PBE or anything, but I know his skills for the most part.
Okay, so I'll start off by saying I think a support can be whatever the hell it wants to be. Like, if you want to make an archetype for an assassin, go for it, dude. I don't give a shit. Like, making it balanced is another story. And I mean, he looks like he has a kit that there's nothing obscene. Like, I don't look at the kit and I'm like, Jesus, dude, what the hell? Like, he's got a lot of CC, which might be a problem, but I don't know the numbers, and I have to like play it in game to really get a feel for it. But I have no problem with support assassins. My only problem is they made it so you can't build health because health converts to AD, and I feel like that's gonna be a really big fucking. That's either gonna make them like OP as hell or garbage as hell, and I'm not actually sure if it will happen, but that seems like a pretty big thing to go for. So what's your take on it, Scar? You can start.
I mean, I'm an assassin player, so obviously any more assassins you put in the game, I'm gonna love it. I think the idea should be you can kind of play multiple things in different positions. I don't mind if like the AD position starts seeing like Mordekaiser or Jarvan, right? If you could play like Lucian top lane and then play like an AD Mordekaiser to balance out so that you can siege correctly, I'm okay with that. In fact, I would like a meta where that's possible. That's pretty much it. I actually really like the idea that there's an assassin support, and I do think the passive has a chance to be like super OP, but at least the OP way isn't health. Because I think like whatever happens, if you have low health, that's always more easily balanced because you can die. It's not like Vlad's passive, his old passive, which was so OP that you would stack health AP and just have 3,000 health, and you don't even mean to.
Yeah. What's your take?
Well, to me, Pyke looks like really fun. Obviously, like I don't get to play champs like Zed or Fizz and stuff like assassins, so it looks really fun for me. I think it's probably like really sink or swim or feast or famine kind of champion. Like if you start feeding, you're probably gonna be fucking useless. But I don't know. It seems really fun. Like there's a hook, stealth, stun, and execute that gives your team gold. It's a new thing for support. I think it's about time for, the supports to have some fun,
Yeah.
Wait, you guys haven't been having fun?
Yeah, I'll say I'm pretty happy about that because, like the support, most of the archetypes that they have, like, they're not that exciting. Like, I think Brahm's, like, pretty cool. Like, Tom Kench is alright. You don't like Braum? Wait, you don't like Braum?
Can't say I'm the biggest fan of Braum, I'm not gonna lie. He's pretty boring, man.
Dude, okay, he's like, he might be boring, but he's like more interesting than Janna, Soraka, Rakan.
Okay.
Like all these champions kind of play the same. Rakan's like kind of the X factor because he can initiate, but like most of that it's just stand on top of your ADC. I mean, I guess Braum's the same fucking way. But most of them are stand on top of your AD. Wait, stand on top of your AD and put like a heal on them, or put like some like ridiculous shield, which I guess is brought to. You know what? Fuck it, dude. Let's just go to the next topic. I'll support. I'll just say I think support. They're gonna be great with this if you keep adding things like this because I think Bard is like one of those champions where. I think if if Bard could be better, because I think he's fucking garbage. I don't know if Smoothie agrees with me or not, but
pretty much.
Yeah,
it's pretty bad.
His kit, he's got a really interesting kit. If you could make that thing work as a support, and make more supports like that have like more interesting dynamics to them other than just like sit next to your AD and fucking drill on yourself. Like that's pretty cool. So Pike, I really like him. I'm hoping that he's good. I think that, yeah, like you said, he'll be feast or famine because most of the time, if someone's not doing good, what do I tell? I tell him, build fucking tank. But if you can't build health on him, yeah, it's going to be real
he's gonna
awkward.
feed his brains out.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I hope that he's good. Are we all excited for him? I'm excited for him, Smoothie.
I'm excited.
I'm excited for him, for sure.
All right, then let's go to the next topic. So next topic, what does the upcoming C9 preparation look like to get back in form before the LCS summer split?
Well, first of all, we're starting scrims like 4 weeks before LCS starts.
Ooh,
it's like it's usually like 2 weeks, but yeah, we lost really early in quarterfinals. So I think it's us and TSM who are just gonna grind super early, and hopefully we get a lot better before other teams start. Obviously, more teams are gonna probably start as early as us, just because we're trying to look for scrims and stuff. But yeah, it's one of the bigger things, and it's pretty cliche to say, but we kind of figured out a lot of our problems leading up to our loss. Like we were like after LCS, after a loss in the last like week or two, we just go back to our back rooms and at LCS, and we all kind of like sat down and we're super emo. We just talked about how bad we sucked and how summer was going to be.
Feel,
you know,
dude. I know that feels good. Well, let me ask you that because you're saying you've had some time to reflect. What was for Smoothie? What did you feel like you needed to improve on as a player?
For me, I've always been one to struggle with the meta, especially when it comes to high pressure situations like. During Worlds, actually both times, 2016 and 2017, it was a problem for me. Obviously, my team could help out with that, but I think I'm a bit slow to like learn the meta, like the correct meta. Also, I think that my shot calling could be a lot cleaner, and yeah, it's always shot calling is always a delicate situation. You can always get better at it, so it's. Something I want to work on for sure. And yeah, I think the biggest one for me is just learning the meta faster.
All right. And let me ask now, Skara, as an analyst, what do you think C9's problem was? What do you think they needed to work on? They need to work on for this.
C9 is an interesting team. I think consistently they've been a team that has like a lot of talent and tends to peak really hard early in the season. And then like as the season progresses, it feels like, you know, as the other teams start to catch up, they don't keep going at like the same speed. They start stopping down. Like from my perspective, actually, I like to hear from you, like, what exactly does like Reaper do for your team? Because I have never talked to him before. I've seen his like analysis streams. Like he's a smart ass guy, and I want to know like what's Reaper's role in like this situation? Because I think he can do great with a team. But like, it worries me that when I see C9 get to like the end of the split, they always seem like as not high tempo as they used to be at the very start of the split. It might just mean that your preparation game is exquisite, like super good in the off season. But I find maybe it's something different.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Like Reaper as a coach, he's really, really good in terms of how he does review. He teaches us a lot of stuff that we don't really think about in game. As a coach should do. But yeah, I think like near the end of it, like the past two, I mean, I was saying like earlier, our meta game read was pretty bad for the most part. Like I was saying earlier about the scrim situation where we had like two different conflicting sides of scrims, and we played one meta and the other team played other metas. And I think that in hindsight, I could probably figure that out if I just figured out that, you know, I'm never gonna have 10 solo kills in my lane just 2v2. That's not gonna happen on stage, you know? Like, I can probably figure it out. I'm a pretty smart guy, I think. So it's gonna. Yeah, I think that's one of the bigger things. But yeah, aside from that, Reaper really helps with just team atmosphere. He's a really down to earth guy, and he fits really well with our team because our team's a bunch of memers. Like we like to have fun in our team, and he really complements that. I think like when we're having fun, we play the best. And yeah, he jokes around a lot, and he makes like he like really good with the team. Like he helps us, I guess, be more together.
All right. Let me ask you for one final question on this topic then. If you could have Scar as a coach, do you think that your team would do as well? Because Scar is a pretty fun-loving guy. He's done some analytical work. Scar, don't do that. What do you think, Smoothie?
Hey, Scara, you were coaching before on CLG. How'd you do then?
Well, I would say I was a pivotal reason why they ended up not getting a deeper run in playoffs. And I probably was a reason why they got to it, but I don't know. I take a lot of fault for how that split ended. Like, I think that, like, I learned a lot as a coach, and it should say a lot that I didn't feel that, essentially after CLG, I got the offer to keep coaching, like, the next split. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people think that, like, I got fired, but, like, legitimately, I was just like, I can't do it, because I remember talking to some of the players, and I was like, how badly do you want to win Worlds? And they're like, more than anything in the world, like, at all. And I felt like if I didn't feel that same sort of drive while coaching, like, they want to be the best player in the world. Do I want to be the best coach? And I didn't enjoy coaching that much. It would have been stupid of me to stay on a team where I couldn't give them like that kind of.
Wait, I never knew that. That's fucking beautiful. They put the $1 million contract in front of you, and you just walked away from it.
It's CLG. Like, cut out a couple zeros there, dude.
All right, they put the $100,000. Is that? They put the $10,000, $1,000, $1,000 contract in front of you. You just walked away from it like that.
Yeah, I mean, it wasn't $1,000, but yeah, like, I think that, like, for me, if I don't enjoy doing it, if it's not my ultimate thing, I don't want to be there to, like, you know, I don't want to cause other people to fail because I'm not that passionate about it. And so that's why I quit coaching, because unless I was willing to coach another group of people who I really, really loved coaching for, there was no reason for me to stay as a coach, because I prefer like streaming, playing games, and like being a pro player more than anything a coaching could ever provide. I remember coaching, the worst thing is on our break days, I would want to stream, right? A little bit. You know, I'd stream a couple hours. Every time I streamed, I felt really bad. I was just like, I'm not doing my job how I'm streaming. I should be scouting different teams across the world globally. I think I should be doing this. I should be doing this. There's always more work you can put in. And I always felt that like anytime I streamed when I was a coach, that I was letting my team down. And I didn't want that kind of feeling to be persistent, like, to another split.
Sky, you're
a
fucking guy, man. Dude, this is why I'm telling you, any team watch, Sky is the best coach. Hire this man. But let's go now to the next topic. The final topic. He's crossing. Only hire him if you got $1 million contract. That's all Sky is going to take. All right, now let's go to the live question and answer segment, because the people, they want to know, dude, and we're going to give them answers. So we'll start off. I'll just start off by asking you, because I always say support's a fucking broken role. I hate all supports, but I want to hear a support's perspective on AD. What do you think of the AD carry position?
That's a good one.
I mean, you see players like Uzi, and you can say like ADC is a broken role too, but I don't know. I feel like I'm doing a lot more in like laning phase than my ADC these days, unless they're playing like a really good duo with me, like Zyra Khan, Caitlyn Morgana. I think ADC is in a fine place, honestly. Until I'm not sure how the ADC item rework's gonna go. It's coming out soon, but right now, yeah, I saw something like that Riot said that even if you get behind, you get like 3 items on Caitlyn, and you're still super strong, really really relevant in the game. And yeah, I kind of agree. Like if I'm behind in a scrim or something, I always just say like, oh, let's get Sneaky's 3-item spike on Caitlyn, guys. We can win, and we usually win anyway. So I think they're in a fine spot.
Do you think, because you're saying they're in a fine spot, do you think that ADC needs this like change? Do you feel like it's just they're just trying to spice it up? Because I think ADC is in a fine spot also, but again, I'm like, maybe I'm just biased. I don't think that the change is necessary. I mean, I'm excited for the change because I'm tired of playing the same fucking champions, and this is gonna make me play something different. But what do you think? Do you think this change is necessary, or are they just trying to spice it up a little bit?
It probably isn't necessary, but it definitely needs a change just to spice up the role a little bit, because it's been either the Gwynsu's build or like the IE double zeal item build for such a long time, and I think there's definitely need some variety.
I hate those
in that.
builds. Like, what the hell? Why are AD carries able to crit me and poke me on every single crit item, like champion the game? I don't want Tristana's or Caitlyn's walking up to me at 700 range, auto me once, and then poking me for 500 damage.
I'll agree that is bullshit. I think Rapid Fire with static, when you just walk up and crit someone for half their health, it's kind of like,
it's just like, what is this? Come on.
Yeah, that is bullshit. But let's go to the next question. Iris wants to know, at Smoothie, this is a good question. Why are all LCS supports so cute?
Whew.
That's a tough one. I don't know. I guess we all take care of how we look. I guess I don't know.
Let me ask you: do you feel like support players are at a genetic disposition compared to other types of players? You guys are just genetically superior, like, because I know, like, let's say jungler. When I think of jungler stereotype, I just think of like they're just dumb as hell. They only know how to hit like NPCs. Like, I agree or disagree here. I think for junglers, they're just really good at hitting things they can't fight back. So that's the type of yes, no. All right, never mind.
I don't know about that one, but about the genetics one, probably not. I don't know.
Probably not.
There's some pretty good looking supports out there. You got your boy Bow Daddy, you got Afro, you know.
That's what I'm saying, dude. Macy wants to know, as Smoothie, how does laning with a pro ADC like Sneaky feel like compared to when you play in solo queue?
I mean, it's completely night and day for the most part, unless I'm playing with an LCS ADC in solo queue.
Really? Even when you play with the LCS ADC, it feels like I'll say, even when I play with LCS support, sometimes it's just like, because there's no communication, so like half the shit's just like, it's just kind of, you're going through the motions, but it feels very empty. It still feels like, maybe I'm just fucking garbage now. I don't fucking know.
Well, it depends on the player, because when I play with someone like Sven, it feels like we're on the same page almost 100% of the time in solo queue, even if you're not talking. Like, I play with him a lot. We duo queue sometimes, and it feels pretty fine, like scrim kind of laning phase.
Are you suggesting that you're going to join TSM with this? Silence?
No comment.
Okay, fair enough. But so you're saying that even without the communication, it still feels like, as long as it's a pro player that knows what he's doing, it's still good?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like, people who know like where to go at all points and like know how to play the macro game for ADC. It's usually the same thing.
All right. Spectrus wants to know, this is at all of us, along with Olay, Pobelter received some flack after his performance on MSI. Do you think Pobelter underperformed? Or that the level of competition... Let me finish reading the questions, guys.
All right, sorry, I jumped the gun a little.
Or that the level of competition on MSI was a level above the level he plays on NALCS, because he did pretty well. Yes, that's it. Scar, explain yourself.
Wait, dude, everyone underperforms. Sometimes Pobelter had a terrible event, and that's... No one's gonna fucking defend that, right?
This man wants to know: did he underperform, or is he not on the level of like?
No, he definitely underperformed. Like even considering like his general level, he underperformed for sure. Like, he's gonna come back to the NA. You're gonna look at this guy. You're still gonna think he's a top 4 mid in summer split, guaranteed. But like over in MSI, you look at him and he got put on Malzahar duty. Like, that's when you know, like, you're like, okay, you know what, dude, just don't lose your lane, and then we can do stuff in the mid game. Like, you're not doing anything with Mouse. Just like play Mouse, and like the team will do the work, you know. And I think that It's fine. Like I still think he's a good player. He'll bounce back in summer split, but like he just had a bad tournament.
Yeah, I mean after that Yasuo game, yikes. But, anyway, yeah, he definitely had a bad tournament. I think he's still a really good player. Maybe he did really well in like the Orianna Zero meta. His Zero is pretty nutty, and his Malzahar was really good in scrims too. So, yeah, he's no question he's a good player, but maybe like we don't know what's happening like internally with TL. Maybe he's under a lot of pressure from his team or like from the staff or something. Or yeah, there's a lot of factors that we just don't know from being outside, and I don't think we can say too much about it. But
yeah, and like
yeah, he definitely underperformed for sure.
The best thing to know is like going to MSI, the meta changes every time. So like this time it was like Soraka support became a thing, and all the Western supports were just like, "What is this champion?" And the first day it did like super well, and then for mid lane they thought Azir and would be really good, but it turns out that like the meta switched to Zoe and Vlad really really quick, and Talia. So like a lot of Pobelter straights I think were not great for the event.
Well, let me ask you then, just to finish it out. What's your take on like nerves? Because I know for I don't know how you dealt with it, Scar. Even when I played professionally, like nerves would always fucking get to me. Like if you're playing on a big stage, like some people are just saying like, maybe it was just the nerves, maybe some shit like that. Smoothie, like how does it feel for you? Have you learned to like overcome them regardless of where you're playing, or how do you feel about that?
For me, I think my nerves come from my confidence, and that's directly correlated to like how I do in scrims and solo queue. Like I'm telling you, dude, if I lose 10 games in solo queue before I play LCS, I'm fucking my mental is gone, like low key. But if I like win all my scrims and come into LCS with a lot of confidence, it's pretty easy to just play regularly and play like a lot better than you usually do, in my opinion.
Dude, everyone I knew got nervous, dude. My like hands sweating. Like the crowd could just be like 5 people, but it's still okay to get nervous in that situation. I think it's part of being a pro player to overcome nerves, and like you will be stressed regardless what you end up doing. Like I know that a lot of people, and me included, had like a pregame ritual. I'm sure every pro player has this where they just do something pregame. Whether it's like for me, it was like cutting my nails, or like making sure nothing was in my pockets before the game started, like stuff like that, and that would help me focus on like not the game that's coming up, so that my nerves would just disappear as the game was going. But like, yeah, walking up on the stage, setting up, seeing the people in the crowd, I was nervous every time. Never faded.
Yeah, for sure. What do you do, Cutie, back then?
Yeah, I felt the same way, honestly. Like, I had the pregame ritual of, like, I'd make I don't know if they still have, like, the little tea machine. I'd make my tea, I'd, like, grab it to warm up my hands. But, like, if it's just a regular match, I didn't care. It's like when you're playing, like, a match that actually matters, that's when it's, like, that shit would give you the heebie-jeebies. Like, honestly, it'd make me feel like, fuck, dude. Like, if I fuck up, even, like, the slightest thing, like, it's hard to, like, keep it off your mind. Like, a slight fuck up, like, fuck, I missed the CS. Like, it kind of just starts, I don't know, man. It was hard for me to deal with nerves sometimes, because surprisingly enough, that shit fucking eats it, man. Like, yeah, when I played for matches that actually matter, it was just like, fuck, dude. It was hard for me to deal with it. So I was just curious what, like, a younger player like you felt about it. Do the coaches, or I guess you guys have like sports psychologists, do they help you out with that kind of stuff? Because I know for me, like, we didn't have that kind of shit, so it was just like, fucking tough it out, dude.
Yeah, it's probably like you're on your own back then. But nowadays, some players more than others, they need the extra little help to, get confident or get over the nerves. And yeah, our sports psychologist David helps a lot with that for some players. And yeah, like you guys say, the pregame rituals, like even like for me, all I do is drink like iced coffee before a match, and I feel pretty good on stage. Get like energy, and it's something easy, something small and easy, but it makes a lot of difference.
Well, there you go, guys. If anyone out there has ranked anxiety, go get a little pregame ritual and treat it like it's the LCS. That's a hot tip from us, dude. A hot tip from Scar, too. Good shit, Scar. But anyways, that's going to be it for the live question and answer segment, and that's going to conclude Beyond the Rift episode number 85. I want to thank our special guest, Smoothie. Smoothie, thank you for coming out today. If the people would like more of you, where can they get more of you?
I mean, you can tweet at me at my Twitter, twitter.com/smoothie, and I always read my DMs and stuff, so you can always...
Ooh.
Oh, you got open DMs?
Come on, dude. I'm there for the fans, you know?
I don't know if those are the people that are open DMing you, but okay.
No. My fans are awesome. I never get bad DMs, man.
Well,
Never.
shit, dude, you shouldn't have told that to my fans then. Scar,
All right. Close.
If the people want more of you, Scar, where are they going to get you?
You can find me on Twitter and Twitch under Skara, and unlike Smoothie, I do get some negative DMs, so like, you know, try to give me, you know, positive vibes when you're watching my stream, because, you know, sometimes I'm playing solo queue, I might need that. But anyways, I'll be streaming in like the next hour right after this.
And you guys know where to find me. I don't have DMs open because I hate you all. Fuck you all. But thank you for being here, and I hope you tune in next Thursday, 5 p.m. EST. I'll see you guys then. Thanks for joining us for Beyond the Rift, and I hope you have a good rest of your day. Goodbye.